Hi friends, I'm Sophia. Welcome back to Pixelpalette Dream Home. There's a certain magic that settles over the countryside when the leaves begin to turn golden amber. It's a season that invites us to slow down and look back at the pieces of history we've gathered along the way. Today we're exploring over 100 ways to breathe new life into forgotten finds. Let's turn those trash to treasure items into the heartbeat of a timeless autumn retreat. Long before modern porches became minimalist, they were a gallery of a life well lived. Think of those weathered wooden shutters leaning against a garage for decades. Instead of letting them rot, imagine them sanded down just enough to show their original character, then painted in a muted sage or a deep cider red. They become the perfect backdrop for a collection of heirloom pumpkins. Old galvanized wash tubs, the kind Grandma used on laundry day, find a second calling as planters for oversized chrysanthemums. This isn't just about curb appeal, it's about honoring the utility of the past. Using these reclaimed materials is a smart way to increase your property's aesthetic value without a massive home improvement loan. These pieces tell a story of resilience, reminding us of crisp mornings spent on the swing with a tin cup of coffee. The kitchen has always been the soul of the home, especially during the harvest. Remember the heavy ironstone pitchers that sat on the sideboard? Even if they have a small chip, they are perfect for holding a bundle of dried wheat or stalks of corn. Old wooden rolling pins, smoothed by years of making pie crusts, look stunning gathered in a simple crock. One of the most charming trash-to-treasure ideas is repurposing vintage silver spoons. Instead of letting them tarnish in a drawer, they can be bent into elegant cabinet pulls or wall hooks. This touch of antique restoration brings a sense of continuity to a modern kitchen. It's a nod to the era when nothing was wasted and everything was cherished. Before we continue, I'd love to hear from you. What is one item in your home that has been passed down through generations? Tell me its story in the comments. There's something sacred about a farmhouse table that has seen decades of Sunday dinners. If you find an old beaten-up table at an estate sale, don't walk away. With a bit of elbow grease and some natural wax, that scarred wood becomes a map of memories. For those looking at real estate investments or simply wanting to upgrade their living space, these custom pieces add a unique charm that store-bought furniture simply can't match. Surround the table with mismatched wooden chairs, each painted in a different autumnal shade. It creates an atmosphere where everyone feels like family, and every meal feels like a celebration of the harvest. In the living room, the focus shifts to comfort and conversation. Old steamer trunks, once used for cross-country rail travel, make for magnificent coffee tables. They provide ample storage for those heavy wool blankets we pull out as the October frost sets in. To add a layer of texture, consider using old grain sacks as pillow covers. The rough-hewn fabric, often marked with the name of a local mill, connects the room to the agricultural roots of the American landscape. It's a sophisticated way to achieve a high-end interior design look on a budget. These elements ground the room, making it a sanctuary for reading or reflecting on the day's blessings. was a time when letters were handwritten and books were treasures. Old, tattered encyclopedias or hymnals that are beyond repair shouldn't be discarded. The yellowed pages can be folded into delicate paper pumpkins or used as matting for vintage botanical prints. Framing a collection of old postcards from the 1950s creates a gallery wall that serves as a conversation starter. It reminds us of a slower pace of life where a 3-cent stamp was a bridge between loved ones. This section of the cottage becomes a quiet tribute to the history of communication and the beauty of the printed word. The mudroom is where the outdoors meets the indoors. An old wooden ladder, perhaps one used in an apple orchard, can be hung horizontally to hold lanterns or dried herbs. Vintage wicker baskets, once used for gathering eggs or berries, are perfect for sorting mail or holding scarves and mittens. Even an old door with its original brass hardware can be converted into a hall tree with a built-in bench. This kind of creative renovation adds immense character to a home's entryway, greeting guests with a sense of history the moment they step inside. In the cottage bedroom, we look for items that wrap us in a sense of security. Hand-stitched quilts, even those with frayed edges, can be repurposed into beautiful accent pillows or even framed as textile art. An old iron bed frame, perhaps found in a barn and rusted by time, can be sandblasted and repainted to become the centerpiece of the room. This approach to decorating is about more than just style. It's about preserving the handiwork of those who came before us. It's a reflection of a life well lived, where every stitch represents a moment of care and every piece of furniture has a soul. Outside, the trash-to-treasure possibilities are endless. An old rusted wheelbarrow becomes a mobile garden bed for pansies and kale. Discarded wooden crates from a local orchard can be stacked to create a rustic potting bench. These elements blend seamlessly into the autumn landscape, bridging the gap between the wild beauty of nature and the structured comfort of the home. Using reclaimed materials in the garden is not only environmentally friendly, but also adds a layer of primitive charm that is highly sought after in current cottage-style trends. As the days grow shorter, the way we light our homes becomes more important. Old mason jars, especially the blue-tinted ones, can be transformed into stunning oil lamps or fairy light displays. Vintage lanterns that once lit the path to the barn can be cleaned up and placed on the mantel. This soft, flickering light mimics the glow of a fireplace, creating an inviting atmosphere that beckons us to stay a little longer. It's a simple way to improve the ambiance of your home, making it feel like a true sanctuary from the modern world. Finally, we look at the small trinkets that tie a room together, a collection of old skeleton keys displayed in a shadow box, or a series of vintage thread spools kept in a glass bowl. These tiny fragments of the past are the finishing touches on our trash to treasure journey. They remind us that beauty is found in the details and that nothing is truly trash if it carries a memory. By integrating these pieces into our fall decor, we create a home that is a living museum of our own history, a place where the past and present live in perfect harmony. Thank you for spending your afternoon with me here at Pixelpalette Dream Home. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more inspiration. Until next time, may your home be filled with the rich colors of fall and the echoes of beautiful memories.